Strategic choice. Strategic choice involves selecting the most appropriate strategy from the various options generated during the strategy development process. Once multiple alternatives have been identified, managers must evaluate them systematically to determine which option best supports organizational objectives. Strategic choice requires careful analysis of both the external environment and internal capabilities to ensure the chosen strategy is achievable and sustainable. Decision-makers must also consider stakeholder expectations, financial implications, and potential risks associated with each option. Because strategic decisions often involve significant long-term commitments of resources, it is essential that the chosen strategy aligns with the organization's overall direction and provides the greatest potential for competitive advantage. A common framework used to evaluate strategic options is the suitability, acceptability, and feasibility (SAF) model. Suitability examines whether the strategy addresses the key issues identified in the organizational ecosystem analysis and whether it contributes to achieving strategic objectives. Acceptability considers whether the strategy meets the expectations of stakeholders, including investors, employees, and customers, and whether the risks and returns are acceptable. Feasibility evaluates whether the organization has the necessary resources, capabilities, and competences to implement the strategy successfully. By applying these criteria, managers can systematically assess each option and identify which strategy offers the best overall balance of benefits and risks. Strategic choice also involves integrating different strategic decisions into a coherent overall strategy. In large organizations, different business units may propose various strategic options that must be aligned with corporate objectives. The selected strategies must work together rather than conflict with one another. For example, corporate strategy may determine which markets to operate in, while business strategies define how to compete in those markets. Managers must ensure that these strategic choices complement each other and contribute to a consistent organizational direction. Integration across strategic levels ensures that the final strategy is coherent and supports the organization's long-term goals. The strategic choice process must remain flexible to accommodate uncertainty and changing environmental conditions. Even after careful evaluation, the future cannot be predicted with complete accuracy. As a result, organizations should consider contingency plans and alternative courses of action when making strategic decisions. Scenario planning and risk analysis can help managers understand potential outcomes and prepare for unexpected developments. Strategic choice, therefore, involves not only selecting the best option today but also ensuring that the organization can adapt if circumstances change. This flexibility is essential for maintaining competitiveness in dynamic business environments. Strategic control. Strategic control focuses on ensuring that the chosen strategy is effectively implemented and that organizational performance aligns with strategic objectives. Once a strategy has been selected, organizations must translate it into detailed action plans, allocate resources appropriately, and communicate responsibilities across the organization. Strategic control systems help management monitor whether the organization is progressing toward its strategic goals. These systems typically include performance measures, targets, and reporting mechanisms that allow managers to track implementation progress. By comparing actual performance with planned objectives, organizations can identify deviations early and take corrective action if necessary to keep the strategy on track. Performance measurement systems play a critical role in strategic control by providing metrics that evaluate organizational success. Key performance indicators, KPIs, critical success factors, CSFs, and benchmarking techniques help organizations monitor operational and strategic performance. These measures may include financial indicators such as profitability and revenue growth, as well as non-financial indicators such as product quality, innovation, or customer satisfaction. Effective performance measurement ensures that managers have reliable information to assess whether strategic initiatives are delivering the expected outcomes. Without appropriate monitoring systems, organizations may struggle to detect problems early or evaluate whether their strategy is achieving its intended objectives. Strategic control also involves aligning organizational incentives and behavior with strategic objectives. Employees and managers must be motivated to implement the strategy effectively, which requires linking performance targets to reward systems such as bonuses, promotions, or recognition programs. Clear performance standards help employees understand what is expected of them and encourage behaviors that support strategic goals. If incentives are poorly designed or misaligned with strategy, employees may focus on activities that do not contribute to the organization's long-term objectives. Effective strategic control therefore ensures that individual actions across the organization collectively support successful strategy implementation. Monitoring and managing strategic change is another important element of strategic control. Implementing a new strategy often requires significant organizational change, including adjustments to processes, structures, and culture. Managers must anticipate potential resistance and develop change management approaches to ensure successful implementation. Strategic control systems help leaders assess the impact of these changes and ensure the organization adapts effectively to new strategic directions. By continuously monitoring implementation and managing change, organizations can refine strategies, respond to emerging challenges, and maintain alignment between strategic objectives and operational performance.